Welcome to Knights of Roleplay, an adventuring podcast. This is an actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Royalty-free music provided by Kevin MacLeod, Michael Gelfie Studios, Plate Mill Games, and Tabletop Audio. And now, to adventure.
Hello listeners, and welcome to Knights of Roleplay, where we revisit the past and bring it to the present in our most explosive way possible. I am DM John, and we are continuing now with the Murkmire Malevolence, and if I ever say Mire-Murk, forgive me on that one. For some reason that just gets stuck in my head.
You said Malevolence.
Malevolence.
Malevolence?
Malevolence.
Malevolence.
Okay.
Sorry. We're all thoroughly sugared and ready to go.
All that malevolence.
Where we last left our smash and grab operation, the healer was on the floor, and everybody else was now starting to walk the dinosaur. Thanks to Trixie's little intervention, who started the Mixie's.
That's Mixie.
Mixie's.
Maybe we'll get it right someday.
I am going to get it right someday.
I screwed it up too.
We literally can.
You guys have screwed it up.
G, T is closer to S.
Sarah screwed it up too.
We literally
She plays
corrected him
Pixie.
3 times in the car on the way here.
Ooh, why is it so hot?
Sir, you showed up.
Oh.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Okay, so Mixie is stabilized. No.
I'm Trixie.
Trixie stabilized.
Stabilized.
No, she's not.
Trixie is down.
Oh, okay. That was my favor.
Oh.
Thank you, DM. Thank you, DM.
Anyway,
There's just like so many timestamps.
No, I'm just writing down the word edits so that I can start writing edits when I need to.
I'm gonna edit your face.
Anyway, yes, the healer is down. Everybody else is fighting the guards, and there is now a giant animatronic Allosaurus rampaging across the
Map.
The map. Yes, the Barton Bluff Museum of Natural History.
So, natural history.
Where we left off in the initiative order was with Mixie. Yes, with Mixie.
The top of the order?
That was the top of the initiative.
Okay.
So,
Thought Mixie just brought the dinosaur to life.
indeed, she did. So, we continue on with poor Trixie, who is bleeding out on the floor. So, I'm afraid I'm going to have you roll a death saving throw.
Am I rolling or are you rolling?
What would you prefer? Do you want to?
We never discussed this.
You want
Whether
it to
the
be-
DM
I
rolls
prefer rolling ourselves.
That was only because
I really
of Tomb
do.
Annihilation. We thought it'd be different on Tomb Annihilation.
Especially because it's like
Normally
there's,
you roll it.
there's things in like the rules that where you can like give yourself advantage and stuff too. So it's better if
Yeah.
you roll your own.
Sounds like you roll your
So,
own.
stay alive,
Death
Trixie.
save number 1.
Trixie, stay alive, Trixie.
That's a 9. Alex.
Do you have inspiration?
I do, but I didn't declare it before I rolled, and I'm
Well,
not
inspiration
gonna use
is
it right now.
that you're but
I'm going to play my own character.
cool.
Okay. Yeah, but that is true. Everybody does start with inspiration
Yeah.
because it is a new session.
Oh really?
So-
Is that the rule? I don't think
I thought that was the thing. Everybody starts with-
humans do.
We as human variants get an inspiration on every long rest.
Yeah.
I thought there was something.
Mixie and
We at the
Trixie
start
do.
of the session, I think, is a house rule.
was a house-
Chris is
it was a
campus.
Oh, okay. So I'm confusing
So if you want
myself.
to continue
really?
it, you can, but it's your
Okay.
call, DM.
No, I think you guys can get out of this. I have faith in you.
That's one of us.
Very
That's 1 out of 5
very
of us.
Maybe someone from the McCullough family does.
So, Fuzzy, you just heard a loud roar from a giant animatronic Allosaurus that is stepping off its platform and looking around rather angrily.
Okay.
What do you do?
So I think I'm going to lean on the precedent, which is when we were fighting the mimic downstairs, Fuzzy had used an action to do something like make an attack, but because he's big and strong, he basically then picked up Mixie at the time as a free flourish and hauled her out after making an attack with his action. So I would...
I think you dragged.
Why would you be picking up Mixie?
I'm not going to, but basically I'm going to lean on that same precedent and I'm going to use my action to disengage. But then I'm going to go bolting over to my unconscious little friend there and pick her up and just start to go.
If I remember right, Bird just hit your window.
We have a blue bear attacking.
I see.
Continue. Sees itself.
Yes, we have an attacking bluebird.
If I remember right, didn't we just have you dragged away?
I mean, he can pick up any of them without penalty. That was like, you didn't give me a movement penalty or anything like that when we did it down in the basement with the mimic. Now, if you want to adjust that, that's okay. I just want to clarify.
Greg's nodding. If that's what you remember.
Yeah, because I was able to carry her all the way out the door after I had made an attack on my turn.
Okay, I remembered it being dragged, but okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's fine. I'm not going to blame it. I'm not going to blame it.
So he is going to disengage. He's going to say, let's see, Mixie, we got to get out. And 5, 10, 15, 20, grab, 25, 30.
Okay.
So I've got her with me. I'm going to say that I'll be trying to position her behind me so she's protected. Maybe someone can make a medicine check.
So throwing up your guard, you bolt out of there, scoop up an unconscious Trixie.
Trixie, yes.
on your way by, and start to dash for the stairs up to the attic.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll.
Okay, so let's see. I am going to step a little bit up the stairs so that I'm out of sight. And I'm going to try what I did before with minor illusion and speaking as that guy's voice and trying to call out orders that got some of the guards to run away downstairs. And I'm going to have that guard leader person say, "Focus on the dinosaur."
Okay. I'm gonna have you run that. Roll deception, normal, because they're hostile, so that give you disadvantage. But it's also very chaotic, which I would have given you advantage. So roll it normal.
Oh, okay. So
Nice.
this is deception. 19.
19. Okay, you will learn the results of that momentarily.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's move, action. I don't really have any bonus action things. No, I mean I'll do my move up the spiral staircase.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Next up. Roar! The Allosaurus turns and sees that there are two people next to it. And it is rampaging, which means it doesn't have any thought or control of its target. So, Mixie, evens or odds?
How about evens?
That's a 1. Right.
Yeah.
That's a clutch roll there, sir. Clutch.
So, yeah, indeed. They have rolled a 1 and a d4. So the Allosaurus, because you lost the roll, he attacked. No. The Allosaurus does indeed turn to... Okay, does that guard have a marker on it?
No.
It does not, so it's probably one of the ones that has not been hit.
It was
yet.
like the young, zealous
I
one.
swear that I put a marker there.
I'm pretty sure they all had markers.
Is it H? Is it the one that wandered over here?
Ish?
Probably H.
Yeah, because the Allosaurus
yes.
didn't have its own marker. There's only one Allosaurus in the room.
I set up this fight exactly as I saw in the picture.
Okay.
Where's the H?
Where's the edge?
I was
Where the
like
heck
waiting
is
for
the
like you
edge?
to get like smashed against the wall, fall down.
No. It was when Greg's tablet
Yeah, it went over that way.
smashed my miniature, which flew and knocked one of those things away.
Nice, you have a strong plastic miniature and it didn't break because an old print would have busted when that happened.
Yes, props to Hero Forge. Please sponsor us.
All right. Then he goes to
That poor guard.
fight the poor guard.
Oh no.
But the guard is wary of it and ducks under the bite. Congratulations.
Congratulations, guard. You didn't get your head bit off by a statue.
Clark, the young,
Oh, God.
good human, the very naive, and the very young and naive human guard manages to duck underneath the bite.
Is this last name Kent?
It is not. It is Vamp.
Clark Kent.
Oh,
Superman.
Superman.
Superman. Superman.
Guard down. No. This guard is not down. Where is guard D?
Which one? D.
D on
He
the
was
board.
down.
Really? I still have
This-
I thought-
got a little bit up.
I set this up exactly as what I saw in the picture.
Oh,
Was there someone down here?
might have been.
There were a bunch of guards that were on the map that I did not put there who were dead,
Yeah.
essentially, and I just didn't put them there because it was clutter.
Yeah, well, this one was not dead, but he's probably running away. So,
Oh, there's one that ran outside to get the guard.
yeah, that might have been him. Okay, so Jonathan Vance, says, "Yes, sir," and turns to fight the Allosaurus, giant Allosaurus, and he swings and he misses as the his sword just clangs off the tough dwarven understructure. Guard I, where's I?
Aye, Captain.
Right there, next to Fuzzy. But has been ordered to attack the Allosaurus.
Has been ordered to attack the Allosaurus. Because his passive perception is not that.
Fuzzy's not really threatening right now.
Is not. But he also doesn't want to step away from Fuzzy and get swung at. So he is. Yeah, he will take the disengage action and engage on the dinosaur.
Okay.
Okay, guard J is down. Guard K, where is K?
The
Okay.
farthest one that you
Farthest one
you
out
can't
there.
see from your perspective.
You can't see him through the
He's basically got to
Allosaurus.
come up and around the top of the stairs. Is that? I still get confused.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's.
the top of the stairs.
I think it's got to go. They have to go around the stairs. Yeah,
If they're going to attack.
if they're going to attack. If they're going to follow Rose's orders.
Unfortunately, Francina, the neutral good elf, has too much respect for history, and he's like, and ignores orders. Who's nearby? Can't see.
Fuzzy.
Fuzzy. Well, she will indeed. She will take. So she will swing on Fuzzy.
Oh, she's goes.
Is that L or is that K?
It's K.
K.
Okay.
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 K.
Okay.
K.
K.
K comes before L.
How dare you mess up our museum?
Yeah.
And has absolutely no chance. Sorry about your background. Of making that. AC 7 is probably not.
No, that's not gonna do it.
Okay. She attempts to poke you with her spear, but you very easily get it.
All she catches is
Wiggle
fur.
out the way.
Fur.
Right.
Yeah. just gets a spear full of fur.
Google.
Guard L.
La, 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 la. L. L.
See, I have all these things written down. Yeah. Poor Milanova. The little
Has
gnome.
to keep showing us how they all have names.
It's funny. I went
You
through
just
all
want to
the
smash
double-
and grab the nameless guards.
Yeah, no.
So that
The
one,
little gnome.
is it Lola Falana?
It is.
Oh.
Millanova Wumblestocking. Wow. No.
Excuse you?
Being the gnome, she's going to be like, I can get that thing under control, and is going to engage with the dinosaur. And, well, actually, you know what? She's going to attempt, just to be a little bit fancy here, intelligence roll. She cannot. Okay. She jumps on, clings on for life, and...
Is she riding the dinosaur?
She's riding the dinosaur. Yes.
This is a great visual in my head of a gnome guard on top of an Allosaurus.
And that theme for a certain park comes on.
Okay, and we are back to Mixie.
Ooh. Mixie's going to beat a hasty retreat.
Mixie
Disengage.
should disengage and beat a hasty retreat. Okay.
I can't move through his space.
You cannot move through enemy space.
Alright, without provoking an attack.
Yeah.
Well, you just can't move through.
I just can't, so I'm
Yeah,
stuck
we're just
there.
gonna have to take that one out for you to get through, apparently. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trixie, are you going to survive? Tell us.
I don't know. Tell me.
What does your dice tell us?
I don't know yet. Oh, please. Your call is important to us.
Oh, I can't see what that says.
I contrast dice, Sarah. I contrast dice.
Is. That's a 14, sir.
Okay.
That's a success.
Trixie coughs up a little bit less blood. Alright.
Well, that's good.
Fuzzy, you got a ally in your arms, and you are an enemy at your heels.
An enemy?
An enemy.
Focus on the
You've got
mission.
yourself hit.
An enemy at the gates?
Alright, well, he's gonna bop that poor unfortunate guard on the head.
Poor unfortunate guard.
Wow, we're really into Disney today. I wasn't even talking about Disney when I was referring to the park.
You should swing Trixie's body like a cudgel.
So sorry, man.
So, I'm sorry, but Trixie would only be an improvised weapon.
Does she fail a death save?
I smite you with the cleric.
You weren't medium armor, right?
Nice. So that's
I am wearing armor.
AC, let's see here, 23 to hit. And that's because...
On H.
Yeah, and because he's still continuing his rage with bonus actions as he has to, that's going to be 11 plus 2, 13.
Okay. Do you want to kill her?
No.
Okay. Then with the broadside of your axe, you smack her upside the head, and she goes skittering across the floor.
Okay.
She take a nap.
All right, so then he is basically going to take Trixie and continue on his way and try to get her like right up to Rose. So give me up to 30 squares of movement there.
So it's 30 to the very end.
Yep.
30.
Do you have more than 30
And
move?
then he's basically, no, he only has 30, but he's going to basically push her into the stairway ahead of him so that she's out
gonna
of the
roll her
line
up
of
the stairs?
sight. I mean, he's got her over his shoulder,
clank,
right?
clank,
She's
clank,
basically
clank,
a stack of potatoes, but
Yeah, basically,
that's
yeah.
it.
Yep, sack of potatoes.
And he's going to say, Ro, I need help.
Well, Ro, how are you going to help?
I move down there and make a medicine check
Okay.
to try to stabilize Trixie
I think it's a flat DC 10.
with a medicine. Yeah.
Kit?
No, the medicine kit.
The medicine kit, I think,
Heals
gives you
a hit point.
advantage on the check or something like
Something
that.
like
That's
that.
yeah.
I think you're right, John. I think it's just a straight.
There used to be a feat that lets you restore 1 hit point with a medicine kit.
Yes, that's not
Yeah,
right. That's not
no,
right.
at this point, it's like if she happens to roll a 20 on a save,
Yeah,
but if we
that-
stabilize her, at least she's stable, so...
Or was it that the medicine kit means you don't have to roll? But you don't have. Do you have a medicine kit? Is this even a thing?
I don't have a medicine.
No, we
Okay, then let's ignore the medicine kit for
oversights.
now.
We're going to fix that next time.
Okay. Yeah, we always.
Hi,
say
I'm the
that.
cleric. I'm usually the one that does the medicine.
Plan B.
Hi, this heist has hit us upside the head with the contingency plans we need to
So I'm
have.
making a regular DC 10 medicine check, right?
Make a medicine check. I am looking up what the DC on this is supposed to be.
Gotcha.
I feel bad because I could have had Fuzzy like shelter you from the stairs, but if I did that, Fuzzy wouldn't have been sheltering Mixie from getting the goods, right? So it's like
You're
we're-
fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Trixie doesn't even know what's going on right
Dinosaur
now.
roar.
There is
Everything's fine.
no animosity.
Everything is awesome.
The only animosity in the building is the Allosaurus. And that's an animatrocity.
Yes. I was reading and I missed
To
it.
go with our malevolence.
Yes, it is.
Yes, that was a high five over across the table.
Boom.
Okay. So medicine check.
Twinning.
11.
Okay. You managed to.
Sorry, 12.
Yeah, you managed to
Really? 12.
stop the bleeding, and so now Trixie.
Trixie.
According to the new 5e 2024 rules, you now have 1 hit point and the unconscious condition.
Okay.
And you start a short rest.
Negative.
Negative?
A stable creature that isn't healed regains 1 hit point. Oh, sorry, I misread that bit. You still have 0, but you regain 1 hit point after 1d4 hours. In 1 hour,
Okay.
you would regain a hit point without other intervention.
Okay.
So you're stable, 0 hit points, and in an hour you get a hit point and wake up. Okay.
I'm unconscious.
Yes. Okay. So back to the encounter, and dinosaurs go roar. All right.
Those poor guards.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Who's the one in the middle there?
I.
I.
Aye.
Okay. The dinosaur takes a swipe at guard eye, and that's caught. Try it again. Oh, that's a little bit more difficult. Okay. Let's see, what's the DC? Okay. Yeah, that hits on a 19. Look at that.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Now we're going to find out just how hard he
Hey, we didn't kill the guard. The dinosaur did. Plausible deniability.
And boom, the guard does go down in 1 hit.
Oh, no. And that's why we did the GTFO, because that thing is nasty.
So guard eye is down. All right. The other guards. Okay. Well, there's only 2 guards left up, and they are engaging with the Allosaurus.
Following orders. Oh.
So I will say at this point, everybody has free movement,
Okay.
So
GTFO.
and we'll step out of initiative order.
Yep. All right.
So, the party runs to the spiral staircase and up to the attic.
Yep.
Down below, you hear the sounds of roaring and the clashing of spears, and momentarily, you then also hear from way down there the sound of the
City
front,
guard.
the front door also
Okay.
bashing open, and sounds of more people coming
All right.
in.
All right,
You are up in the attic. What would you like to do?
quick out the roof.
GTFO.
Fuzzy carries her right up the stack of boxes like a sack of potatoes,
Okay.
and up and out, and gets ready to man the rope for everybody up at the top.
Okay, so you are going to hold the rope while everybody...
I mean,
gets
I
down.
thought we had a tie point. Did we have a tie
The
point?
tie point was the actual window.
I
The
mean,
window itself, but it wasn't going to hold more than one person.
he's basically going to make sure that the other two get down. He's going to lower her down with the rope around her, basically. And then
Okay.
he's going to tie it as best as he can and hope that it can break some of his fall. And he's going to keep extending his rage through
Okay.
this so that he's...
As you look over the
Yeah.
wall,
Yeah.
getting ready to lower people down, you see lights.
Okay. Is there a place of the building that we can get off that's like further away from the main drag? Like we would choose a side of the building to get off that's away from where people are coming from.
The
And
whole city
try to
guard
duck
is aware
into-
that there's something going on now.
Yeah, but this whole fight was like less than a minute. Are they really that close and that fast?
They're starting to
It's
be.
DM's call.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to prioritize Mixie getting down and ducking away so that she can run for the church.
Give me an
with the goods.
investigation roll, because you're looking for something specific.
Okay.
I'm going to piggyback on what Kate said and be nitpicky.
Okay.
And be like, 18 seconds have gone by since they called for the guards.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, if it takes them 5 minutes to get there, that's like 30 rounds.
Yeah, I might be overestimating actual guards. You make a good point. Okay, let's roll that back. All right.
Sorry, that's 50 rounds.
Math good.
Actually.
Where's your math, Chris? Seriously.
My math is up your butt.
I was just going to say that, Sarah.
Get out of my head!
Okay, you have no problem. Okay, so yeah, you have no problems tying off the rope.
Yeah.
Everybody does have to get down one at a time,
Yep.
Sure.
and
And then he's going to try to climb down with the mix of whatever help the rope can give him and his athletics, basically.
okay. Then in that case, go ahead and make an athletics an athletics check with advantage.
Okay. Yeah. Which he's still raging, so double advantage. Double advantage.
There's no such thing.
Go, should we roll two? 2 twos, right? Here we
Roll
go.
4 times, take the best one.
Okay, luckily one of those was an 18. That's fortunate. So, yes, that'll be a 23.
Okay, that gets you halfway down. No, I'm kidding. Okay, everybody managed to get down. Off in the distance, you do hear the sounds of an alarm being raised.
Sounds of sirens.
I would say get into an alleyway out of sight, and then because she's still sleeping peacefully, he's going to say, quick, back to dress clothes, and let's change our appearance. Let's look like we're coming.
Okay, I
Yeah.
dropped disguise self, so I don't look like that. Well, maybe I should stage the card. Maybe I should stage the card.
And I
No, I'll just drop.
he's going to ditch like whatever black clothes and mess it. He's going to look more like a proper person who's just stumbling home from the ball with his 2 drunk friend. He's going to switch her to her dress tactfully, them to their dress.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, who's holding the stone?
Mixie still has it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, what time?
There again hasn't been that much.
No,
if
it
you
hasn't
think
been that
it's all
time. I'm
been
trying to
combat.
remember.
Yeah, because we went in there, I think, at about 9.
I think it was like 9:30,
Yes.
9:45 by the
Yeah.
time we started the shenanigans.
Which
Yes.
we had until midnight. It's 1 hour to
The
the
creature
church.
hatches in Mixie's pocket.
Cthulhu.
Okay. Actually, it would be about that time then. Okay, so everybody is down. What would you like to say? Everybody's down. Everybody has... are you staying as the guard? Girl?
Am I staying as the guard? I don't want to draw any attention to us. So No, I'm not going to stay. I don't want any guards yelling at me to go guard the museum or something. Or, hey,
Okay.
what are you doing over there? Blah, blah, blah.
I mean, in theory, you can still change your appearance. You can take on different personas just within your current outfit, right? Because of your changeling ability.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah, sorry.
Let me take my turn, so
Yeah.
to speak.
Yeah.
I drop the guard thing, and I just look like the rest of us. Like we all look normal, right?
Yeah, like
So-
back to our ball gear
Yeah.
instead of our heist gear, basically.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just wearing my normal clothes.
Yeah.
So, okay, so everybody's back in the street in city clothes,
Correct.
I'm taking a nap, so
except for you.
She's drunk,
Who's
and
drunk?
he's doing weekend at Bernie's and carrying her down.
Okay. Okay. So the plan is to just walk out.
Just head over to the temple.
Yeah, I mean, to take the back ways as much
church.
as possible, right? You know, if we can hear maiden drags where there's clearly guards running around, right? We know the city,
Yeah,
right?
we're
We do
not going to
jobs
go.
all the
We're not going to go to the
time.
front of the building. We're going to walk away from the back of the building.
Back alleys, anywhere that's away from sight.
Okay. Because there is an alarm being raised. You normally don't do group checks for stealth, as I was just recently reading. But
Okay.
go ahead and make a group stealth check with advantage,
Okay.
just to see if you do draw any attention.
do I add to this since I'm unconscious?
You do not.
Okay.
We all have to roll this.
Yeah,
Everybody roll with
rolls
advantage.
Everybody rolls with advantage, and as long as at least 2 of you succeed, you're good.
Oh, that's not great.
That's not great either.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I should have stayed as a guard.
What was it? A what check?
Stealth check.
Yep.
Okay, so it was +7, so it's going to be at least 15.
And 12 for Fuzzy.
And 10.
And 10.
That's
Okay,
not terrible, actually.
And-
And snore.
It beats an easy DC. so
Yeah,
I don't know.
usually 10 is pretty good for typical people passive perception, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other people out here in the street.
Yeah. And now we look like normal people, right? So, yeah.
Do we look like normal people?
I mean, as much as anybody
do?
in the city. There's Rufo. There's,
My implication is that we're not really normal.
yeah.
You're a bugbear. You
That's
look like
fair.
normal people.
There's some bugbears in the city. He's not
It's
the only
a
one.
mixed city, you know.
All of a sudden, a lumbering 7-foot female root folk goes drunkenly stumbling.
Z to the rescue.
Yeah. And Z says, "Hey, didn't I just see you climbing down that? That was awesome."
Oh my god.
Awesome.
And and that does indeed start to draw some attention on you.
Oh, no.
And just as that happens,
What's drawing attention to it?
I think Z just magically showed up.
I don't know how Z really showed
No,
up. We were
it-
joking, but apparently our stealth was not stealthy enough.
you were indeed somebody down at the on the ground happened to spot you as you were climbing down the rope and trying to make your way out, and says, "Hey, what are you? Are you the cause of what's going on over there? Hey, guards! There's somebody over here." And they go
Who is
over
it? Who is this person?
Just a random person.
Do we even have a chance to deceive them?
Not in this particular case, because everybody make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm still unconscious.
All right.
Mm-hmm. 17.
Okay.
Seven.
Oh, Greg, you make it with disadvantage. You make it with disadvantage.
Oh,
This thing starts to come alive even 2 hours
that
before
was
midnight. Good grief.
8.
I mean, can it get any worse than 8?
But it's
With making a difference.
What was it?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Let's see, wisdom. So it's 9 for me.
9.
Okay. What did you got? Good. What did you get?
Let's see here. A 7.
A 7. Okay. I want the two of you to roll a d12 for me.
Okay. All right, I rolled a 5.
3.
Okay.
Our dice are really not. Well, maybe low's good. I don't think so. But...
All right. As the person starts to run away, you are suddenly distracted by a pulse of energy that you feel coming from your pockets or wherever you're holding the stone.
Oh.
And this wave of psychic energy pulses out from it. Ro, you managed to not get distracted from it. But both Fuzzy and Trixie are hit by Mixie are hit by this wave of psychic energy. Fuzzy, you suddenly feel a surge of energy in your legs,
Okay.
and your walking speed increases by 5 feet.
Ooh.
Wow.
Interesting. This is
Mixie,
weird.
however, suddenly feels much more sluggish,
Okay.
and like your body is really heavy. It doesn't affect your walking speed, but it does give you disadvantage on dexterity checks and saving throws.
Okay.
Dang.
And with that wave of psychic energy that came out, you suddenly hear a few screeches and screams from people not too a little ways away.
In proximity to where we're standing.
Oh no, other people being affected probably. Oh no.
And yeah,
All right.
and that.
All right.
And,
We gotta go.
and now you're
So,
We keep trying to sneak through alleys.
I
and
mean, if
stuff.
Fuzzy could basically, yeah, I mean, I would say at this point we should probably be
Running.
dashing through alleys. I don't know what your gut is. Fuzzy would probably talk with you because we don't have our mastermind to tell us what to do.
if we're going through back alleys, we can run through alleys. I wouldn't run through the street,
Yeah.
but
I would say
we're cutting
let's
through alleys, we just
go.
run through
And
alleys.
if one of them starts to drag, like he's just going to pick him up because he can lift so much and not be penalized. He could practically carry the whole party. If
all
he
three of
had
us
to.
are going to
Yeah.
get up on top of the bugbear, and the bugbear's going to run through the city,
Because that won't attract any attention at all.
smashing through buildings as you go.
We might as well just
Got
jump
an
on top
audition
of the
to do for the
Allosaurus and
circus.
float it home.
Make way!
That would have been cool.
okay. So you begin to dash as fast as you can through the back alleys. All the while, this stone is pulsing in your pocket.
Are we really going to do this for another hour?
No, I'm just gonna storyboard this at this one. I actually had the possibility of a whole chase scene,
You have an egg
but
vibrating in
you
your pocket.
guys managed to dodge the
You're
chase
saying a pulsing egg in your pocket, Mixie.
Yep.
Well,
It's not in that pocket.
So through the back alleyways, dodging weird little slime puddles and storage barrels, you make your way through the city, heading toward your church, I assume?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I should think so.
I mean, if
Okay.
we've got sneaky back ways to get into the church, so it's not really obvious that we went, right? We know this. We do this all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, as you run, you hear the commotion of the guards fall behind you, and as they continue in to figure out to deal with the carnage you left behind in the museum.
I'm just happy the dinosaur came alive.
And actually, let's see, you're running for about half an hour. All of you give me a Constitution saving throw.
Levels of exhaustion. There we go. All right, so he's out of range at this point.
17.
Okay.
Okay, 14.
14.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? No, I can't do that. Oh, wait, can I? I can't.
This is just for story reasons anyway.
Yeah, sure.
They don't
Flavor.
too much. Yeah.
Flavor
Yeah,
town.
you said you're storyboarding. We get it.
Yep.
Yeah. It is kind of funny just to see how comically off the rails this whole thing has been.
What's
The
it?
best laid plans.
Constitution.
You'd think that we
Yeah,
were pros.
it's
but-
six. Okay. Wake up.
I already
So
did.
it's, yeah. So it's it normally is about an hour's walk, but because you're going through back channels and stuff like that, it's about 45-minute run. On the row, your slight frame affords you some nice power weight advantage, and you have no problem running down this marathon. Fuzzy, since you're carrying poor Trixie, minute you stumble a little bit, but you unfortunately leave poor Mixie behind in the dust as Mixie slips on some slime and goes down.
Oh, he would basically pick her up.
Slips on some
That's
slime.
If she
Say
slips,
that
he'll
8
grab her.
times, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then you when she slips and falls, you reach down. Poor Mixie is really not built for long distance running. You do take a level of exhaustion, but beaten, battered, exhausted, and very tired, you do make it back to the church.
Okay. All right.
One level exhaust.
So if
Where is exhaustion and dignity beyond? I'm just curious.
It's
Active conditions.
Oh, conditions. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I was just curious. Okay.
so if Fuzzy's like the most functional out of them when they get there, he's gonna grab the stone from Mixie, get it to the girl wherever she is. She's still back in the
She-
dormitory area, or is she? The doctor.
Dr. Donnell.
Dr. Dannell, you bust into the church. You don't see Dr. Dannell in the sanctuary,
Okay.
Really?
Run back to the back areas like the workshops and stuff like that.
and you do indeed
Midnight
find her
mass.
there where you left her.
Okay, so
Not quite
basically,
midnight yet.
True.
take the stone from Mixie. It's like, quick, this thing's weird.
Quickly before more too much more of the effect of the city is affected by this. She opens up this crystal coffer. You throw the stone inside, and she snaps it shut, and this weird feeling of wrongness coming from the stone vanishes.
Now here's a question: when we cross midnight, does the stone hatch just inside the box, or that's like?
Don't ask me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ask Dr. Dannell.
Yeah, is it going to hatch anyway? Would there be any way to prove to everyone that you were right?
It won't hatch. That is what the crystal box is for. It basically mimics the location in which the stone was originally found. So the stone doesn't know that it's been unearthed, and basically puts it back to sleep.
All right.
And so it won't hatch. Because it's a really interesting thing about these eggs is they can sit for eons undisturbed, and it's not until somebody actually digs them up that they actually start to quicken and hatch. So anyway.
Let's see here. So Fuzzy points Ro towards like waking up the priest or someone who could basically get Trixie back on their feet.
You guys could just let me sleep it off.
We could. That's. I mean, it's been practically an hour. That's fair.
Oh, it's been 45 minutes.
It's approaching. It's
Yeah.
approaching an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we. Is Father McKay even up?
There you go.
The church is always open. There's always somebody on duty. It
Right.
may
Do
not
we
be
have-
someone great, but
He's
Yeah.
the duty.
duty. I did say duty.
Someone who has healing power and can actually make the medicine check and give them a hit point if it matters. But yeah.
We'll hand wave that and
Yeah.
say yes. You can go ahead.
The egg is in the crystal box. Why do you have to worry about getting me awake? Just let me sleep.
We could-
That's okay. We don't have to belabor that when you can wake up.
Well,
It's close enough.
where do we put this? Where do we keep this where it's safe, where someone won't just break the box or take it out again?
I have some people that I can leave this with that make sure that it stays inert. I guess is the correct word for that one. So, anyway, thank you very much. You have no less than saved the city. I did hear that there was a bit of a commotion going on, so I hope, and you guys look a little bit rough for the wear, so I guess it must have been a pretty difficult mission. So you definitely have my thanks, and you have certainly earned your pay for this one, which was, what did I promise you? 300?
1,000 each.
Not quite.
Did we create a coin monkey character to keep the bank?
The kitty.
Okay. And so she does hand over a little leather satchel, and inside it is 20 gold per person. So 80 gold.
Are we going to split it between us, or are we going to make a coin monkey?
I'd say just split it.
Well, I'll let you guys sort that one out. This really does need to get dealt with quickly and before something does happen to it. So, thank you again. Hopefully, I can work with some people to get my job back. But even if that doesn't happen, that's okay. At least I know everybody is safe. So, thank you again. And if there's nothing else, then Dr. Donnell leaves the room.
Thank you.
Bye. How much was that gold again? Sorry.
20 per.
20 each. Okay.
Trixie, that was fun, but I'm really tired.
Okay. So I have a little opportunity for some freeform role-playing here. I suggest a post-mortem.
Snooze.
Once we've had a chance to rest a bit, I'd say we have a little powwow about... Yeah, Fuzzy's definitely going to suggest that we stock some things like a medicine kit and see if we can't scrounge up a healing potion somewhere, just in case our
Okay. Then
healer
I
gets
can
knocked out in the future.
Then I can zoom to a full rest, and you guys can do whatever you want in the morning.
Okay. Sounds
So
good.
long rest?
Long rest.
Long rest.
You're back home.
Okay. I put a level of exhaustion on to see what that would do. I don't know that it did anything, but
There's just disadvantages your checks.
Yeah. Level 1 exhaustion is just annoying, but it doesn't really do much.
well, I'm not up on all the current rules, but I thought it was just like a -1 to everything.
Oh, is that the new 2024?
Again, it was at some point. I don't know if it's stuck in there, if it stayed with the actual release or not.
I don't know.
So I was looking to see if I would have
previously
minuses.
what level 1 of exhaustion was disadvantage on ability checks.
Legacy. Let's see.
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I was just curious what it would do.
Yeah.
But if we only got one level and then we had a long rest, that should
Yeah,
get rid
it
of
just
that.
Then
comes
it
off.
cleared out.
It would get rid of
Yeah.
that one anyway. Okay.
Yeah, you lose 1 level on a long rest. Oh. All right. The next morning, everybody wakes up. Things are surprisingly calm. Nobody has come to visit the church, asking questions. The church business goes on about as normal, and it just seems like a normal day.
Cool.
That one was an exciting one, Trixie. I don't think I want to do it again, though.
I don't know how I got home.
Well, you can thank
Well,
Fuzzy for
But I
that.
appreciate however that happened.
We left the guards fighting the dinosaur, darling.
A dinosaur?
Yeah, that
Really?
that was fun. I had a really good time making that happen.
Mixie jammed the controls. Meanwhile, I hauled you out.
Oh, well, I appreciate it.
That's
We're gonna
true.
have a talk about you making dinosaurs come to life, though.
It was just
this
a
case,
distraction.
We would have had a bunch
It worked out
more
really well, though.
guards.
It was great.
It was needed.
All right. So, do you guys wish to accomplish anything? Do anything? Do some shopping? Do
I
anything
mean,
else?
definitely stock up
A little
on...
bit of character maintenance at this point.
I mean, we realized that a grappling hook would have been nice to have, so I think Fuzzy clocked that. So we'd probably find a grappling hook.
You would know
Yeah.
that for slightly interesting adventuring gear,
Yeah.
since you can talk to the proprietor of the little knickknacks store
Okay.
out in front of the church.
All right.
If you pay him one of your coins, then you would basically have access to any. They'll show you to their back room, and you would have access to any of the standard adventuring gear at normal prices.
Why do we need a rope?
Does that include healing potions?
They do sometimes come across healing potions.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah,
If you're going to talk to them.
Fuzzy goes over to ask about all of that. So,
Okay. You want to role play that, or you just want to have it do it?
I mean, I guess what's the proprietor like? Since this is our neighbor who.
Welcome back to my store.
Wow.
Oh boy. Boy.
John's like, I've been waiting for this.
Can I interest you in this Allosaurus skull I just came across?
Oh, God.
That is fascinating. I don't know where you would find such a fine object, but
Only
we're
5
just
gold.
here.
Arr, arr.
We're just here for other supplies from the room in the back.
I see. I don't
And
have
he
anything
gives
in a
the
room.
coin.
Oh well, that room in the back. Yes, please come on back.
And so goes back, and then I guess what are we looking at cost-wise to make sure we have a grappling hook, to make sure we have a couple healing potions and a medicine kit or two.
Yeah, he has 3.
Healing kit.
He managed to come across 3 healing potions. He'll sell
Okay.
you, and
What's the price per? What's the price per? 25?
I believe those are 25. Yes.
Okay, Fuzzy will get
Are
one
you
for
sure it's not 50?
I am not sure it's not 50.
Now, one thing, let's see, here is
Okay, where are
Fuzzy's features and traits, because he gets a discount for things.
I'm still trying to pull that up. Let's see, I got the.
Fuzzy gets a 20% discount on non-magical items, so not the healing potion, but...
The grappling hook
let's
for
see.
sure.
Equipment, adventuring gear. Okay. So yes, your grappling hook is 2 gold.
Okay.
That's healer's kit. Where is the potion of healing? So it's various things like that. Now, let's see. Okay. Magic.
Potion of healing, 50 gold.
There. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
They also he also has a selection of various poisons and things like that. If you like, usual cloak and dagger stuff.
Yeah.
Poison!
Well, we could pool money for sure to at least get 1 healing potion. Do we have enough to pool to get 2? What?
Ro has 29 gold.
I have 74.
I have 43.
Miss Moneybags over here.
You have 43 as well. Okay. Let's see. I say, Trixie, would
2,
you care to
at least,
split the
right?
cost for a potion with me? And then Mixie, are you able to buy one yourself separate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 25 off of each of us and 50 off of you.
So we have 2 potions of healing?
Two potions
Yeah.
of healing, so we have to decide who's going to carry them.
Not me.
Not the healer.
Fuzzy will carry one because it makes sense because he's probably likely to be the last bugbear standing.
It's minus 15.
Yeah, and since Ro's the most likely to go down, I would say that
So
Mixie
then
takes the other
Mixie,
one.
Mixie and Fuzzy carry healing potions, and then Fuzzy, being kind of the de facto climber, I guess will also carry the grappling hook, because it's still weird to me that athletics is the climbing thing, but it is, and it
It
makes me
is.
laugh because I envision how big he is.
Oh, athletic.
Bears.
Ability to
Bears climbing
strength to haul yourself up.
Bears climbing buildings. I love it.
If you're designing yourself after beasts from the X-Men, well then, yeah, climbing is
Yeah.
climbing. Is
Whoa.
Lunite explosion.
Intense.
Listen, you take your timestamp and you shove it where the sun don't shine.
Now I'm gonna have to keep that in.
You take your timestamp.
And we don't have to. We don't have to believe
We're
it.
human beings. We make yucky noises and phlegmy things and sneezes. You're gonna shove that watch up your nose. Every time you sneeze,
She didn't
it's
say
gonna go
butt.
beep
She
beep
didn't say my butt.
beep beep.
I was expecting butt.
I was expecting that too.
No, the watch doesn't have a vibration function.
Oh. Oh, boy.
Broker.
Sarah's broken.
Oh, my friends.
Definitely have to keep it in now.
Here, have some more Swedish fish.
There you go. Get that sugar.
Okay, so we good with the shopping then?
I think so.
I think so.
Okay. So let's do this little bit then. That evening, as you all are hanging around the church, winding down, doing whatever it is that you do to wind down, cooking, sharpening knives, sharpening wits, that kind of thing. The local priest walks into the back room there, carrying a little offering tray, and he says, "We just received this," and presents to you, Ro, the offering tray. Inside it is a coin and a note.
Oh, okay. I take the coin and I take the note.
The note simply says, "Meet me in the back room of the Happy Goat." Everyone
Ding
should say.
dong.
The back room of the Happy Goat.
Fuzzy pops his head out of the kitchen. Oh, the meatloaf's almost ready. Whoa, what you got there?
It appears that someone wants to hire us, darling. I received a coin and a note asking for all of us to meet this individual in the back room at the Happy Goat.
Ooh, more fun. More fun, fun, fun. I love fun.
I'll pack the food to go if you want to get the others.
Trixie, dear, where are you?
Trixie's in her quarters. Praying. Or something.
Or something.
All right, so I gather everyone together
Okay.
and show them the note and everything, and we're going to go over to the Happy Goat.
Okay. You walk into the Happy Goat, and as you walk in, the bartender behind the bar just simply nods you in the direction of one of the side doors, which you know leads to just basically a little conference room, little meeting room type
Nook.
thing. Okay. Nook.
Nanook.
As you go inside, I'm assuming you do go inside.
Yes.
No.
You see, sitting at the table at the far end is a woman who looks like this.
Cool.
And so, a nice. She says, "Welcome. Hey, and thank you for agreeing to meet with me. Please have a seat. We have some business to discuss."
Fuzzy sits down and takes up like a quarter of the room.
All right, so you arrange yourself around the table, and the lady continues. "My name is Malaya Nai, and I work as a clerk. Sorry, no, it's good. Got that one. My name is Mira Rahir, and I work as a clerk for Malaya Nai, which, I don't know if you remember, is the representative of Black Province. Councillor Nai is probably one of the more dedicated people that I know to actually rebuilding the world after the fall of the Dragon Council. But she also understands that sometimes the work of rebuilding the infrastructure of the world requires more expediency than the law allows, if you understand what I'm saying. The Dragon's Council had a lot of skeletons in their closet, both literally and figuratively. And dismantling these dark webs is a rather long-term project of hers. So to that end, she will sometimes hire skilled professionals to undertake some of the more intricate work, field work required. So we work with an organization known as the Golden Vault. And under her direction, they see to it that tasks are completed and those responsible are properly rewarded. So we are aware of the work that you did earlier in retrieving the Murkmire stone. And as a show of our sincerity, work has already begun in the council chambers to clean up the aftermath, such as it were. The details don't need to concern you right now. But since it was you who saw to it that we didn't have to fall back on a rather more consequential plan to deal with the egg, then it is in the best interest of everybody that the details be kept quiet. And of course, work of that nature deserves to be rewarded, and the Golden Vault rewards handsomely. So, we cannot, as a matter of security and secrecy, hand out rewards outside of our organization, if you understand. So, I will ask you directly, would you and your team be willing to become agents of the Golden Vault?
Well, what do you think, darlings? Mastermind?
It seems like an extension of the work we've already been trying to do on our own, but with a better network to support.
I would agree.
As long as it's fun for me, I don't really care.
John drops
his keyboard.
At least once a session.
But I'll only do it if Trixie wants to do it.
You speak of rewards. What types of rewards are we speaking of, and what are the risks to our organization, to my church?
The risks, I won't say the risks are zero. I mean, the nature of your work inherently involves risk. But when we find that there is a problem that affects the city or maybe even the continent at large, that falls within your skill set, then what we will do is we will pass the details of the incident on to you and leave it in your hands to decide how best to deal with it. As for rewards, the Dragon Council left behind no few caches of various treasures, and we have at our disposal we have been granted permission to dispense with those treasures as we see fit. The rewards will, of course, be consummate with the skill required for the job.
Rewards are wonderful. We may ask in some cases if it's okay to distribute those rewards down to additional places where we've been distributing some of the fruits of our work already.
What you do with your rewards is entirely up to you.
And when you talk about being connected and our worries about the church, you said that your organization was able to clean up what happened at a certain museum. Does that mean that you might be able to shelter our church in similar ways, should it come to it?
We would have to see that on a case-by-case basis. But for as long as your team continues to serve our interests, then it is generally in our interests to see to it that you continue to be able to do so.
What do you think, Trixie?
I think so long as the organization does not intend to interfere with the goings-on of the church itself, it sounds like a prosperous joining.
It sounds then like we are in agreement. Excellent. Welcome to the Golden Vault.
Yes.
I will be your point person. So if you ever find yourself in need of services from the at the governmental level, I can certainly help you. My personal capacity is limited, but I have certain inroads to other people and access to certain information. I ask that you just simply be discreet. The nature of the Golden Vault is secrecy itself, to the point where we will not reveal any other members of the vault, even to fellow members. The only person that you will ever have contact with directly is me. If we ever have need of contact you, we will contact you through this. And she reaches into her satchel and pulls out a small golden music box. And on one side of the music box is a keyhole. And she places it on the table. As for your rewards for your recent work, we are willing to grant you from the treasure cache one uncommon magic item. Though I will say in advance that bags of holding have already been handed out. And are none available. Simply write down what you wish and place it inside the music box, and we will receive it and deliver to you the object that you require within a day or two, assuming that it is available. And with that, I bid you good day and good hunting, agents. And she stands up, and she leaves the room.
So she said that they'll contact us when they need us.
Mm-hmm.
Did she say if there was a way for us to contact her?
She just gave you one.
I guess if we put something in the music box, it's understood that through some magic, they're going to get the note, basically.
Yeah, I was a little confused in that part. I thought the music box was to communicate with them, and then you mentioned that it gives us uncommon magic items. So I'm like, is that...
She said when we know what we want, to write it down and put it in the box.
And basically,
So not necessarily about the magic items, just about anything.
If you want to send them a note.
Okay, okay.
Fuzzy's a derp, so he would have clarified that, like, you want us to take this back with us and just put notes in it, or look for notes if you need us, basically?
That will become clear in time.
Okay.
Okay, so we can send notes to this box, which include asking for the one uncommon magic item that they're allotting to each of us.
No, one uncommon magic item.
Period.
Oh, period.
One.
Not each.
Gotcha.
Brainstorm what would be good for the group, that kind of thing.
Bag of holding? I know I should.
You just said, wah, wah, no bags of holding.
Fuzzy might, as she's leaving, he like pulls her aside real quick and with like a little tear in his eye asks if he can ever go back to his museum.
I would lay low for just a little while.
Understood.
Darling.
That's if the museum's still standing.
Yes.
We did let loose a dinosaur.
It's going to have yellow tape
I
across
mean,
the
as
front
far
for a
as
while.
they know,
Yeah, they got a lot of help from the city guard, though.
depending on the chaos, they may not even have noticed that the stone was swapped, right? Depending on the lookalike.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how good the duplicate is.
His deception roll was pretty solid, so we got lucky on that.
So that is the Murkmire Malevolence, the first adventure in Keys from the Golden Vault.
Yay!
I hope you enjoyed it.
Level 20.
No. Level 2.
Yay!
Slightly less crunchy.
Be a little less crunchy. Yes.
You want us to roll? Or
No, we can do that off. That's
Okay.
fine. All right. So let's go ahead and do stars and wishes for the event, not just for today, but for the adventure as a whole. Now, I know this has been a learning experience for all of us, especially me coming back to DMing for after so long and not running these kinds of adventures before. But let's start on the left. Sarah. Let's start on the left. Kate. No, okay.
really? Or like,
No, it's okay.
yeah.
We can come back to you if you're right.
Do you want to start on Crystal's side and then go around? I mean,
I think the point was that he wanted to start in a different direction than
Yeah, I
we usually
know.
do.
Give Sarah a minute to collect
I
her
know.
thoughts.
It's all
Jesus.
good, guys. It's all good.
Nope, we're not pressing you. You got anything yet?
Throw something at John.
I'll press you against the wall. By the throat! Stars, I think, regardless of how snafu it went, I think our team teamed very well. Even if it was Team Snafu.
We teamed very well. I like that.
I very much enjoyed your personification of the different NPCs that we encountered.
Especially the dwarfs.
Yeah, of course. But even more so than that, like the various hobnobbers at the gala and whatnot, I very much enjoyed your DM take on things.
Oh, thank you.
As far as wishes go,
Be brutal. I can take it. Not that brutal. Silence first.
Don't take that long.
Sarah gave him a side eye for the listeners at home. I think just it's an all-around wish that as a group we do continue to keep in mind that letting other people take their turns on their own and allowing the DM to DM is just something to keep in mind.
Okay. So good general advice on that one. Mm-hmm. Not thinking of anything in particular. God,
No.
I know. So, all right, Kate, Stars and wishes.
Let's see here. So stars, I definitely loved the flavor of the whole adventure overall, and like that kind of that do-gooderness of like saving the city from something really yucky. I thought I'll jump on the bandwagon with all the role playing, like the fact that all the guards were built with different personalities and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I tried to play the guards' actions in the fight based on the personalities the module gave me.
I mean, they gave you so much information, you might as well use it.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I love the rampaging dinosaur. I love the all the quirks of the stone as it was starting to wake up. Like we only did a little tiny bit with that, but I thought that was kind of entertaining, and just like even though it went off the rails badly, so like I thought that our team got to do, like, everybody had a little flavor of doing the things that they're supposed to be strong at, because in theory it's like we're pros, we've been doing this for a while, this isn't our first rodeo. So and I'll apologize for like when things go off the rails. I always know I get a little more antsy, so for trying to take other people's turns or advice a little too strongly, I apologize for that. I always try to walk that back. So wishes, like, I don't know if this is a DM thing. I think this is more a module thing for level 1 characters, and Chris is probably going to reiterate some of this, like the sheer quantity of guards in the building and like their armor class and their competency for like I could see it if they were just big dumb mooks, like that would have it felt very unbalanced and very, very difficult not to activate them. Like, I don't know if we just weren't thinking of the right creative angles, but I don't see how as a level 1 party, like, it is so easy to miss just one roll and everything goes off the rails. You can't really split the party at a level 1 party when you've got things that hit that hard when they actually do hit, which I realized they weren't hitting often. So I just feel like it I'd be curious to look afterwards at like how many parties failed, because I feel like we very narrowly succeeded. So, and again, I don't think that's anything against you. I just think that's how it was built. So, I mean, it was still fun. It was a blast. So, yeah, I mean, I guess wishes that we continue to think of more contingencies and stuff in the future, maybe think a little more out of the box in some of these situations, and just keep improving on ourselves as a group. Okay. So,
yeah, I mean, on a couple of points of that, the stone starting to come to life in the module, that was actually something that was going to happen later on if you guys had started to stay too late in the museum, sneaking around. But you guys had pretty much already gone out, so I decided, hey, let's play with it, just do for a little dramatic tension.
Sure.
As for the rest of it, yes, I think Chris did want to address on that, so I will address that when we get around to him. Greg, stars and wishes, what are you thinking?
I think some of the stars, I had a really good time enjoying playing Mixie, doing her things.
If you enjoyed yourself, that's number 1.
Yes. So my dice, though, they didn't really cooperate a whole lot of the time.
Do they ever?
No. But luckily I had a strong enough...
That's why they call it being dicey.
some pluses that helped me win the day.
You pulled through a couple of clutch moves there.
Your rolls out of combat were awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you managing to get the stone without getting locked in the room, because turns out her satchel wasn't like the end-all be-all as far as things that would just give you a get-out-of-jail-free card, right? So,
yeah.
You made some awesome sleight of hand rolls. Two, to steal the clutch and then to do the stone, which were awesome.
You activated a dinosaur. That really,
Yes.
I don't know if we could have gotten out of there. Those guards, if they did hit, they were hitting hard enough. I think we might have had other people go unconscious, and then it would start to be a real different scenario.
To be fair, they didn't have to hit me very hard. I only have 9 hit points.
That's why level 1 is so swingy, right? That's always hard to try to balance things with level 1.
That's why I was trying not to swarm you with all the guards at once. Because things would,
Well, and it got to make Ro feel like he was doing good with his impersonating characters and voices, too, to kind of build on
Trying to
that.
redirect them.
Wishes, I guess one of the things is just being able to survive some of those high rolls that sometimes aren't high rolls for you, so that you don't end up dead, like I almost did. which was like, oh no.
I mean, it's kind of like a rite of the rogue at this point, that the very first adventure you have to get pwned.
It builds character.
Excuse me. So that was me.
Okay. Oh yeah, Chris.
Okay.
Stars and painful wishes.
Stars were I've got a lot of stars. Stars were like getting to see. I'm speaking more of the whole adventure, not necessarily this.
Yeah, this is stars and wishes for the whole adventure.
So like being able to see people's characters for the first time is always really exciting to see how they're going to role play and like what they do, and then to see how we're all trying to work our characters together and act like people that have known each other for a long time, but we're role playing with each other for the first time as our characters. Seeing the personalities come out is really fun and really awesome, and I think we're still working on building our rapport that already exists in theory. I think it's fun.
That always takes more time than just 3 sessions of fighting.
Yeah, but it's great though. I mean, I love all the characters. I think it's great, and the fact that we all seem to have like our own role in the party. That's awesome, because at different points during the heist, we were trying to do the things that our roles were doing, and we weren't really stepping on each other's toes. Sometimes there was a little bit of crossover when it was necessary, but I just thought it was great. Greg's roles, I was going to mention those as stars when you were stealing stuff. And being able to bring my own character to life and do some of the things that I designed Ro to do, like being Daniel the gnome, going in there, and then sort of throwing my voice around and trying to redirect the guards. All those things were things that I was designed to do, that Ro was designed to do, and I had fun with that.
Spoiler alert, on the next adventure, you're going to have a lot more opportunity to do that.
That's great. I really like the general setup of the adventure. I think is a neat scenario. I love the dinosaur. As soon as you told me about it, I'm like, if I get out of this adventure and there's no dinosaur, I'm going to be very disappointed. So that was really good. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Everybody did a great job. I love seeing the new characters and this whole adventure. That's really great. Lots of stars all around. So my wishes, I wrote these down because I was thinking about them between the last session and this session. And I want to kind of preface these a little bit, because I understand that this is a pre-written adventure. That's I don't know what that means for you as the DM. I haven't read it, but I will say that I don't know how the adventure is written. So a lot of the things that I may be talking about right now may be based on false assumptions. So I want to make this clear that if I say a certain thing, it's like I'm probably assuming something that may not be true. Okay, but I want to.
And I may get really angry at you. So.
Also, this is very strange, but it's cool that I have a really high level of investment in Ro, whereas I've been playing for 38 years, so I'm just like, my character dies, whatever. But with this character, I'm much more invested, and I think it just happens to be the fact that Ro is non-binary and fluid, and we have this inclusion culture going on now, which is way overdue in my opinion. So with Ro and mixing that with Changeling and the Illusionist Wizard and stuff like that, I love this character, and so I'm super invested. So some of the things that I may say here as part of my wishes are coming from an emotionally charged place. Right. So I want to make that clear as well.
Right. Well, just keep in mind though, there is a lot more adventure to come. So if there's anything that you didn't get to this time, there is going to be plenty of opportunity.
Being bonded as a heisting party, right? It's totally different than something like the Tomb, where it's well, I'm going to go through 10 characters, whatevs, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead. Yeah. Let's start with you.
So not knowing what's in the module, possibly making false assumptions, and being very invested in my character. Here are some wishes.
Okay.
The first wish has to do with what I perceive as you may be seeing things as pretty black and white sometimes. Again, maybe that's on a false assumption, but I felt as soon as Ro tried to get the guards to go around the corner, and that failed, and it triggered the guards. I felt really embarrassed. I felt really self-conscious and very insecure.
Understand.
And for the rest of the adventure, that was with me the whole time. It was adding this layer of tension with me the whole time. And even like until you said that we got back to the church, I was holding that tension with me again because of this level of investment I have in the character. And you had said something about, you know, I think it was in last session where you were like, you said this, so this happened. If you had said this, that wouldn't have happened. And I was like, well, that's John's interpretation of it, which is valid. But there are other interpretations, and I thought, you know, like, if the situation had been reversed, obviously the way that my mind was working, something different would have happened.
Yeah. Knowing what I know now with how things would play out in this module, I might have played that a little bit differently. So your point is valid.
I'm just saying that's how I felt. I'm not saying that you did anything wrong. I'm really not.
I understand. But in my head, as far as the guard's reaction to how that scene played out, it made sense to me at the time, given what I know of the guards and how they would react to, you know, somebody saying, "We've got intruders." So I probably would have been less heavy-handed, but I probably would have still done something along that line. So, but I get it. You know, it was the first adventure. We're all, you know, still learning how these things can interact, and it was your first attempt to actually use that skill, and it didn't go well. And so I can totally understand that tension that you're describing.
Yeah.
And I will make an effort to be less black and white about that in the future.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. But I'm saying that's more of a general thing too, not just specific to me.
Right.
Because you had made a couple of statements about things that were like, well, this is how it would happen. And I'm like, well, this is all John's way that it would happen. So I just wanted to throw that out there and be like, it felt a little too black and white hearing you say certain things throughout the adventure. So I'm like, just trying to throw that out there to just maybe try not to be as black and white, which it sounds like you're perfectly willing to do.
Yeah. I'm willing to learn.
So that's kind of the first wish. The second wish, which again relates to all of these things with all my prefaces, is the idea that, you know, you as the dungeon master, and again, this is like me looking through my lens, like the dungeon master. It's great if the dungeon master basically tries to make the players' characters feel like they're awesome. You know, like the DM is like the biggest cheerleader who's rooting for the characters. And I didn't really feel that way a lot of the time with the way that you were doing things. I didn't feel like you were rooting for the characters as much, which maybe you were. I don't know. Again, it could be a false assumption, but it's the idea that like, you know, like knowing that I built this character to do what I did when I was trying to convince the guards to come around the corner. And again, with my very high emotional investment of being like, oh, this is really upsetting and embarrassing and blah, blah, blah. It's like, if you had maybe been thinking a little more along the lines of, like in that moment, if you had said, this is what Chris designed his character to do. This is his first real attempt at doing this in a heist. I'm going to try to give a lot of leeway and lean into it, even if I think what he was doing might have an adverse effect. Like he could have fudged it a little more and leaned into it a little more, because you're like, if I sort of help Chris a little bit with this, if he's stumbling on his first attempt, he could get really embarrassed and frustrated and upset, or I could lean into it a little more and even go against what I think would happen. Because at the end of the day, if Chris leaves this adventure having succeeded in what he was doing, he will leave the session feeling awesome and talking about how awesome that was. And yay, this was so awesome. Did you see me? That's what I built my character to do. Blah, blah, blah. And instead, I was like angry, frustrated, embarrassed, had all this tension that I carried for 2 sessions with me. And again, like, I don't feel like you made a bad call. You made the call that you thought was right at the time. That's perfectly valid. But I just want you, one of my wishes is for you to like it felt to me like you weren't on the sidelines, like wearing, like with some pom-poms, cheering for the party. Go, yay, you guys are going to do great. I'm your cheerleader, yay. It felt more like it was like, the module versus us or the DM versus us, you know. And again, it's mostly because of what I experienced when I was like, oh, I totally messed up this thing that I was trying so hard to do. I built my character to do it, and you know, I didn't feel like you were in any way being like, is there a way I can help Chris work this out? You know, it didn't really feel that way to me, which maybe I'm working off false assumptions. Could have been the way the adventure was written.
No, I mean, I totally understand that point of view. And that is, again, part of me getting back into the DM role.
Sure.
After having been out of it for so long. In my mind, the player is happiest about their results if there is actually some risk in their actions being taken.
Sure.
So to that end, I am mentally always trying to balance off what is the risk they're taking versus what is the payoff. Mm-hmm. And in those kinds of circumstances, I probably might come across as more adversarial than a cheerleader. Because I want that risk to be there. Because if you're constantly succeeding on everything, it just gets boring.
Right.
And that's the one thing I really don't want the sessions to become is boring.
Sure. I totally get that.
Okay. But if I'm coming across as too heavy-handedly, then I can certainly attempt to dial that back.
Yeah, and I understand your point about trying to find that balance. And I would just encourage you as a DM, like maybe in the first heist, to lean more into the characters.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, maybe give us a little more leeway than you would in, say, the third or the fourth heist. You know, if it's the first heist and you're trying to be like, I really want them to get a good impression of this adventure book, and I want this first one. I don't want to hand them everything, but I want this first adventure to be fun and exciting and have them feel like they're succeeding in the things that their characters are designed to do. You know, I would just say, like, give a little more leeway, at least in the first adventure and the first heist. You know, and I just felt like you were being, again, kind of like black and white, maybe like a little too by the book, not being too much of a cheerleader, you know, and I'm just like,
I think I was leaning more heavily into your experience just as a role-playing group, not necessarily in this particular module.
Sure.
So I had a little bit more faith in your ability to handle tougher situations, just as a general rule. But again, I may have overdone it for a level 1 campaign. I very rarely have run level 1 adventures.
Well, and I know it's like in the past you've been upset, and we've talked about like how you felt like you nerfed things for us and it was like way too easy, and you felt like you didn't challenge us enough, right? So that's a trade-off though. But then, you know, the guards, like, they were the most tactical I have ever seen you play bad guys. Like, if guards are smart enough to start like planting themselves and blocking hallways and dodging, and the party can't even tumble anymore because the rules went away, like, that starts to really gum things up, right? And it's starting to be like, it literally felt like we were playing a crew of like 16 level 1 characters. And if you put that in an encounter balancer, right, it's like, oh no. Still fun, but like more challenging
which again,
than expected.
Why I was trying to move the guards around to not have so many engaged
I appreciate
at
that.
one time.
That's one of those, you play it out and then you realize how it's going and go, ooh, compensating.
Pretty much, I mean, it came off heavy right at the start, and and there wasn't much I could do to really roll things back at that point, and that was going to be one of my wishes. But go ahead.
Okay. So third wish is this keys into a lot of what we've already said. And again, you know, maybe false assumptions, maybe being overly invested in my character, but I felt like if I was to say my third wish is, I mean this metaphorically and I mean this literally, I felt like you were eager to trigger the guards, which may be completely wrong, but that's how I felt. And part of the reason why I felt that was, number one, because of, like, you know, as soon as Rose said something that you thought was wrong, I was like, oh, the guards are triggered. That was part of it. But secondly, the other part of it was the fact that as soon as Greg's character walked through the door, even though the guards were already triggered, you were like, the klaxon goes off. And then, you know, it didn't take you long to say, well, wait a minute, the guards are already triggered. And there was something about that where you jumped on it so quick, even though the guards were already triggered. You went through, Greg's character went through the door, and you're like, the klaxon goes off. And like the combination of those two things, made me feel like you were somewhat eager to trigger the guards. Like you had this list of things in the book.
Yeah,
Where it was like all of these different things can trigger the guards, and like it's almost like you had them all waiting in a list, and you were like, I'm just waiting for somebody to trigger one. Here it is. Wait, there it is.
Yeah.
Let's trigger the guards. Like, and again, like I don't think that you're trying to do anything adversarial, but it felt like it almost felt to me like you were eager to trigger the guards.
Yeah, I will defend myself on this one.
Okay.
I was not trying to trigger the guards, and if I came across as really eager about the klaxon, it was probably more on the lines of, hey, I get to trigger something cool on the map.
Okay.
And then realized afterwards that it really didn't matter. But I was actually really hoping to see more of a sneak in and stealth type mission here. So I was really hoping that you wouldn't trigger the guards.
Okay.
Good to know. It just happened to be that in that one instance, my brain was like, well, what would a guard do at this point? Well, the guard would call for backup at this point, and that unfortunately does kind of have a cascading effect as described in the module. The module very specifically says that if you start fighting a guard, then other guards will start coming at a certain rate. And I felt that was kind of boxed in by the module itself at that point. Which, again, as DM, I have fiat to do that, but again, as DM, I am not very... I will, again, use my lack of experience as an excuse on this one to actually be able to modify that on the fly. And so we ended up with just everything blowing up.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, my interpretation in my brain, which again, you have yours, I have mine. I don't think either one is right or wrong. It's just the way we would do things. Is in my brain, it was like they would probably go check it out first, and if they saw like a bugbear with a great axe, then maybe they would call for the rest of the guards. But if they don't really know the situation, then they're not just gonna be like, something may be wrong. Let's get all the guards from the entire museum to come up here right now.
Yeah.
In my brain, it's like they would check it out first. And the second thing that Rose said that was supposed to create a sense of urgency, where they called for help from around the corner. My brain was thinking that they'd be like, that person could be at the very least a coworker, at most like a good friend. Like, oh my God, what is happening to this person? And run around the corner. Maybe fumbling for the whistle or something as they're running around the corner in case they need it. And again, that is my interpretation. It is not yours.
Right.
Neither one of us is right or wrong. They're just different interpretations.
Yeah. So, my interpretation of that whole scene was, here is a guard who is being told by another guard that there are intruders. And the guards have a procedure when there are intruders. And that procedure is to call for backup. Yeah. And normally in the module, the immediate backup is just whatever guards are immediately next to them.
Okay.
And unfortunately, at that point, that triggered a fight. And because that triggered an actual full-on fight, that started triggering other guards to come.
I mean, Monday morning quarterback, the only way I can think of where that scenario could have played out without triggering the guards would have been like, maybe if he had said, oh, there's a mimic in that attic or something instead of an intruder. And then if we had hidden and let them all come up to the top of the stairs and then started bashing heads, and then maybe we could have put him in a guard suit and sent him down.
But this unfortunately feeds back into Chris's first wish about one misspoken word, and suddenly everything was
that level one is so easy to botch and roll,
which was too heavy-handed for me.
Yeah, that way hard for a first level party to achieve, right? Just about impossible.
Yeah, because that was not my intention. That was just simply a in the moment decision based on what I thought the cards would do, which 2020 hindsight was probably too heavy-handed.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, your choice is perfectly valid. I also think that my choice, which would not have been to trigger
you can
the
be
guards,
mean. You can call me.
No,
you can call me a stupid tyrant. No, stuff like that. That's okay.
We are different people, John, and you see things differently, and that's perfectly valid. I mean, given if I were the DM, I would have not triggered the guards. I would have had them be like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with my friend?" I would have had them run around the corner to try to help. But what you did was just different than what I would do. And I'm like, when I combine like all of these different sorts of things together, you know, it left me with a little bit of an impression that, like you were in a position that was slightly DM versus the player. It was slightly adversarial. And again, I was like, I don't know what the module is telling you to do, but I also don't know what DM fiats you're taking or not taking. I don't know how much of a bone you're throwing us at different points or not. You know, and you said in the adventure last time, which may have been an offhanded remark, but you were like, I'm not pulling any punches. And I was like, is John going really by the book here? Is he eager to trigger the guards? And there's like all these things kept coming up, and they were fed by my insecurities and my frustration with triggering the guards. And
usually when I say I'm not pulling my punches, what I mean is something along the lines of in combat, you know, like that. If I hit a critical hit, I'm not going to just sit here and say, no, let's not do that. I'm not going to fudge my rolls.
Sure.
It's the dice are going to do what they're going to do, and we just have to deal with it. That doesn't mean that I'm going to try to be. That doesn't mean I'm going to try to make things unnecessarily difficult.
Right.
So, just to clarify. So, anyway, we're starting to run a little long on the stars and wishes, though. But do you?
No, I mean that's basically it. You know, I want to. I'm nervous going forward now because first of all, like knowing that I have this level of investment in my character, you know, it's making things a little bit tricky for me because I haven't had this kind of investment in a long time. Secondly, like you mentioned about this adventure that you know, one wrong step, one wrong roll, there's so many things that could set off the guards, and I'm thinking to myself, is this going to be like a series of adventures going from this point forward where we're almost kind of waiting to see which one of the four of us is going to screw the pooch, and you know, and then if that happens, like if next time it's Kate or if it's Greg or if it's Sarah, is that person going to be like, and then like for the whole rest of the adventure, they're like, you know, if we all get captured, killed, or whatever, or we failed the mission, it's my fault, you know. And now I'm worried that going into every single one of these heists, that we're all going to be on edge. Like I don't want to be the person that triggers the guards, and I mean that metaphorically and literally. Like who's going to be the one of us that's going to trigger the guards? Who's going to be one of us that's going to screw the mission up? You know,
well,
and so I'm kind of worried about that now.
Okay. So moving forward, I will try to be more cognizant of that. I mean, the nature of a heist is yes, one person screwing up can cause the whole thing to fall apart. That's the nature of a heist.
Right.
But the other part of that is, if they fall apart, how well can we pull it back together?
How can we put it back together? Which we
it may not have gone the way that we planned, but it still went off.
Oh, I still had a ton of fun.
We still had fun. And if it had gone the way you wanted, we might not have triggered a dinosaur.
It might not have been.
Yes.
Honestly, the fight was probably a lot more exciting than if we had pulled off the full Mission Impossible sneaky. There's that irony,
which is what I said during the other stars and wishes was I was like, if we didn't get into a fight, I feel like it would have kind of been boring. I've always been very much into
then
combat.
our healer got knocked out and could have died, and we didn't have backup healing, but luckily we pulled it off, right? It's like,
right, but like if
you can think on your feet.
Yeah, I mean, I was very happy with like the way that we handled things once the fight started. And if the dinosaur didn't come out there, I would have been disappointed. If we'd snuck in and snuck out and there was no dinosaur, I would have been like, man, that thing was supposed to come to life and do some cool stuff. You know, I really had fun during the fight. I thought it was awesome. But those are my stars and wishes.
Okay, DM stars and wishes. Honestly, we've kind of mostly covered it at this point. I'm glad that you guys had fun. Because I certainly had a lot of fun running this one. It was very different trying to figure out this module. Yes, if I ran it again, there are probably a few things that I would do differently. But overall, I think it went pretty well. I hit all the points that I wanted to hit, at least, to get you set up for the future adventures. Wishes, I was honestly expecting more of a planning stage than just okay, we got a map, let's dive in. I think with a bit more of a planning stage, we probably would have seen a much different outcome to this.
I do think some of that was just the way that we were, being older adults with family, like how time constrained some of these adventures have been, right? We kind of had to off ramp, so I felt like we were tracking along with where we had to go just based on time constraints.
Possible. I mean,
I can appreciate the idea of more planning.
but I have absolutely nothing wrong with sitting here for an entire session doing nothing while you guys work out a plan. Go for it. Do whatever.
Sure.
That's a lot of fun as a DM, just to sit there and watch your players go at it.
It is. It really is.
Dirty.
Yeah. But beyond that, I think I'd probably give myself a B+ for this one.
Solid D-.
I'd give our party, we succeduced.
Sarah gave
Barely.
me the D.
Minus.
Minus.
Not even the D+.
Brutal.
Yowza.
All right, then. Well, when next we meet, we get to start on the Stygian Gambit.
Cool.
So look forward to that.
Cool.
So let's say goodnight to the listeners.
Good night.
Good night to the listeners.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave us a review anywhere this podcast can be found. Our social media links, plus additional content, can be found on our website at knightsofroleplay.com. Please tell your friends about Knights of Roleplay, an adventuring podcast, and spread the word through social media. Your help and support are greatly appreciated.